The defendant will rise and face the jury and hearken to its verdicts.
State of Wisconsin versus Kyle Rittenhouse. As to the first count of the information, Joseph Rosenbaum. We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis. We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fourth count of the information, Anthony Huber, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the fifth count of the information, Gage Grosskreutz, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Members of the jury, are these your unanimous verdicts? Is there anyone who does not agree with the verdicts as read? Would you wish the jury polled?
Kyle Rittenhouse, innocent, proven not guilty on all counts of murder. Not guilty. Anybody who's fair-minded, who actually look at the video without bias or putting your politics first, can clearly see that this boy was under attack for his life and he acted in clear case of a self-defense. Don't deny it. It was definitely self-defense, and to speak for America, I see a lot of people, especially race hustlers, race baiters, talking about this is white privilege. And I seen like Dr. Umar post white privilege. It's like, where's the white privilege? This kid was dragged through the mud. He literally defended himself against people who was trying to murder him. If he would go down, and that's the thing, do black people really want equality, or do we just simply want vengeance? It's like, we don't care. He was white. We're going to judge everything based off of our skin color and not logic. We're just going to say he's guilty. It doesn't matter that people was trying to attack him with a skateboard. It doesn't matter that somebody came after him with a gun. He's guilty just for being white. Right now, there's a culture war against the straight white Christian conservative men. Straight white men are actually the only ones standing in front of a tyrannical government that's trying to destroy our country and trying to force us to get vaccinated and force us to be under some dictatorship. Now, this was a victory for Republicans. This was a victory for conservatives. This was for victory for people that believe in self-defense. This was a victory for people who believe in the Second Amendment as well. This was a victory all around for fair-minded people, and a loss for the people who believe in socialism and communism and believe that the defunding the police people, it was a complete loss for y'all. Like I always said, Kyle Rittenhouse shouldn't have been on trial. It should have been the mayor or the governor who was in charge of Kenosha, Wisconsin. They allowed things to get this out of hand where a 17-year-old boy had to step in and do the job of the police. He was doing the job that the leadership should have been in charge of. At what point do these mayors, do these governors have responsibility or be held accountable for their lack of leadership? At what point? Should they always just simply get a pass? And we should always just blame the Kyle Rittenhouses of the world. Is it even the fault of the criminals who tried to attack Kyle Rittenhouse? Or is it the lack of leadership who allowed them criminals to be in position to try to murder that young man? A lot of y'all are saying when Kyle Rittenhouse broke down in tears, oh, it was fake. It was a hoax. No, literally, he broke down this time too. And he had the same exact face on. This is a 17-year-old, now an 18-year-old kid whose life was on the line, where he could have did the rest of his life in prison with no chance of even parole or getting out ever. Or who knows, they could have executed him for all I know if he would have got proven guilty. This was a huge win for him. Of course he's going to break down. This was going to be a huge loss for him. So it makes sense that a young 18-year-old boy would break down in court. Even me at 31, I would break down in court. I'm going through certain situations that I could break down right now that's going on in my personal life. But we got to be strong because we know the people that's against us, they hate us. They want to see us break down. They want to see us cry. This was a huge victory for conservative people. And it stands that the country is not completely lost. There is still people that have sense. Now, I was afraid because it dragged on for over 2 days about what the verdict would be. I thought it was going to be a hung jury. From what I heard, it was 2 or 3 jurors that actually disagree. I don't know what happened, but apparently everybody came to an agreement, or else it would have been a hung jury. So the boy got proven not guilty on all the counts of murder they tried to get him with. Rightfully so. I agree with the verdict. I'm happy for Kyle Rittenhouse. He should celebrate tonight. Now, that's traumatizing to go through as a young man. Now, he could either turn this into a career. Maybe he could start a podcast. Maybe he could stand up for Second Amendment laws. Maybe he could stand up for self-defense laws to make them more clear and more precise. Law enforcement might be a little rough for him to get into, because even though he was proven not guilty, the Democratic Party and the left-wing people, they drug him through the mud. He was a white supremacist. He was everything in a book. He was a Trump supporter. Now, I hope he sued the hell out of mainstream media. He needed to sue the hell out of the city of Kenosha, because they drug him through the mud and they put him in a position to the point where he had to do what he had to do. Kenosha put him in a situation where he had to defend his life. I know y'all saying he traveled over state lines with an AR-15. That been proven to be debunked. And honestly, I talked to one of my liberal friends, and I'll tell my liberal friend, you do not waive your right to defend your life just because you go somewhere that could be dangerous. If you go somewhere that's dangerous, that still don't give them the right to try to execute you. You still have right to protect your life. I know liberal people can't understand that. Kyle Rittenhouse, justice was served. He stood up for what was right. And it's a shame that the leadership is not held accountable for allowing their city to get out of control. Just like Lori Lightfoot, she's not held responsible for anything that's going on, even though she create a bunch of anti-police laws, pro-criminal laws, where criminals could commit crimes and the police are not allowed to chase them on foot. So it encouraged criminals to go out and do whatever they want to do. When the politicians encourage the BLM rioters to go out and do whatever they want to do, it encouraged criminals to get away with stuff. There's no accountability. There's no accountability for BLM and Antifa members. However, there is accountability for Trump supporters on January 6th. They're still being brought up on charges to today. But if you burn down a courthouse or you burn down a police precinct in Kenosha, Wisconsin, you get away with it. Anybody who stands in your way of wanting to commit arson is the criminal, and not the real criminal that's actually trying to destroy the cities. Let's go Kyle Rittenhouse. Let's go Brandon. Who's with me? Anyway, let me know what you think about the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. I know a lot of people are going live. A lot of people are talking about it now. I just wanted to make a real quick video, give my statement, my opinion. I covered Kyle Rittenhouse in my previous videos. Go back and look at it. And I've been standing with Kyle Rittenhouse from day one. Now, anyway, like my video, share my video. My name is Nate Savage, and I'm out. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.